Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. So today I was doing a little bit of songwriting and guitar playing, and this is one tool that I've used recently, especially to channel energy. And I know that many of you are musicians or artistic types as well. So you may be using this as a tool to channel energy in your own way. But as I was doing this, I picked up on a thread of energy that was very intense, and it had very much of a haunted kind of feel to it. Now, I feel like this thread of energy may ultimately evolve into its own song, because you guys know that I have been recently turning these kind of musical channels into songs that I am now sharing through my artist name, Songs by Infinity, which, by the way, the first of these songs is Go On to New York, and it is available on most streaming platforms, but specifically, if you want to check it out and follow me on Spotify, that is where I will be updating first with anything music related. So I will leave a link to that in the description box underneath the video. But also, I wanted to apologize if you hear my voice cracking a little bit. I am dealing with some allergies and also recovering from a bit of a cold that I had over the weekend. Nothing too crazy, and I feel mostly allergy induced. So I do apologize for that if my voice is a little bit dry at times, but this message felt really important for someone listening. So I really wanted to share this outside of my typical posting schedule. So I'm actually going to do something a bit different, and I'm going to share with you some of the lyrics that came through. Again, these may be used in a future song that I create, but for now, I just want to share with you what was coming up, because I feel like this is going to resonate with someone in a really profound kind of way, especially if there's been a situation where someone disconnected from you very suddenly. The word ghost and ghosting is coming up really strongly. The sense I'm getting here is a goodbye without any closure, or maybe no goodbye at all. It feels like a sudden drop off in a connection. And it's almost like now someone is I get the sense of someone almost like peering through glass. Metaphorically, it's like they're aware of you, either spiritually or maybe literally if the two of you are connected in some way. And it's almost like they have this awareness or this sense of you, and they can like see you or perceive you, but they're feeling disconnected from you. And so what I'm about to share with you, it could be from your perspective or it could be from the other person's perspective. But here is what I channeled through in this session. We never really said hello. It was more like, where did you come from? I think I've seen you here before, maybe just not in this lifetime. We never really said goodbye. It was more like, catch you next time. And then it was over. We drift in and out like waves. Now the stillness feels unnatural, and the silence got loud. And I'm trying so hard to get better. I dusted off all of the hard to reach places for you, just in case you'd notice. And I try not to look so haunted, even though the floorboards creak every time that you make a move or take a step forward. It's just the house settling. Don't listen to all the screams. You kiss me at the front door, and I spend eternity wondering what all of it means. My smile feels rusty, like nobody's touched it in years, but you're here. I swear you were right here. So again, I don't know if this is coming from your perspective or coming from the other person's perspective, but the sense I get very strongly is both the way that you met and connected with this person and the way that you've disconnected with them have both been very odd. I feel that I'm getting chills all over as I say this, but there's something about the way that the two of you met where you were almost just like pulled together magnetically, and it almost immediately felt like you were just meant to be in each other's lives. I feel like there was this mutual knowing of some kind that pulled you together, like across the universe or across a crowded room. however you met this person in literal terms, it feels like there was this instant shared knowing, like we need to stay in touch, or like we are meant to be in each other's lives. And I'm also hearing like a mutual curiosity, but that mutual curiosity of your human selves was actually coming from your souls, because your souls have had this awareness of being connected. I just keep hearing like meant to be connected. So it's almost like there was no real introduction here. I mean, you may have literally introduced yourself to this person, but on a different level, it's almost like you already knew each other. And every conversation introducing yourselves or talking about yourselves, it was almost as though you were just confirming what you already knew about each other on a soul level. There were most likely very strong feelings of deja vu around this connection as well. So I want to use the cards to channel more into this, because I'm getting that there was, I see something about like the season of fall or autumn. I'm also getting a lot of like September and a lot of like Libra energy here as well for someone. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards, but I keep getting the sense that the way that you met was very much fate bringing the two of you together for a reason. And again, something about the way you connected felt so, I'm hearing natural between the two of you, but something about your worlds was unnatural. I know this sounds really odd, but it's almost like the two of you fit together perfectly on a personal, individual level, but your worlds don't fit together. This is the kind of person where I'm hearing something about friends or social groups never really like approving of the other, if that makes sense. So for example, you may have never met this person's friends or not really gotten along with their friends or their family, or vice versa. Like maybe this person never really knew the people closest to you or got along with those people. It's almost like the two of you connected perfectly in this merged space where it was just the two of you, like almost on this alternate kind of plane where it was just you and this person connecting. But I feel that there were a lot of people and forces and things around you. Almost, it's not even an animosity. It just feels like you came from very different worlds physically, but I'm hearing like the same soul family. I'm seeing the word crystal. I don't know if this is a name or if someone's like using crystals here in some way, but here at the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Cups, and for some reason, I'm hearing story. Maybe the guides are like, okay, I want to tell you the story of the two of you, but from a spiritual perspective, because of course, if this reading is for you, you already know your story with this person in literal terms. But I'm hearing that there are a lot of question marks, a lot of gray area and uncertainty in that story. There's a lot of confusion. And so it's almost like the guides are coming in here saying, we're going to tell your story from a spiritual perspective so that you can fill in some of the blanks and answer some of those points of confusion that you may be having right now, specifically because of recent events with this person is what I'm getting, or because of maybe the way things ended, although my guides are saying it's just the way things appear to have ended, because I really don't feel like things are over between you and this person, but we will get into that a bit later on. The first thing I want to say with the Three of Cups is, and excuse me if I do pause here and there, I apologize for that. There's a lot of energy coming through this particular connection. So I may actually pause from time to time just to like download and kind of process some of the energy. I keep getting goosebumps and chills. So do bear with me on that. I'm sure you know this if this is your connection coming through this reading. Of course, this may not be for everyone. This will most likely just resonate with a specific group. But if this is for you, then I'm getting that you know how spiritually heavy this is. Not even in a negative way. It's just, there's a lot of spiritual weight here. And there was from the beginning. So let's start at the beginning, which really isn't the beginning because you and this person have a lot of shared soul history. I'm getting the words inspire and catalyst. So let's talk about why you met at this point in time. First of all, it was inevitable for you to meet. What I'm getting is you are part of each other's soul family, and you're connected in such a way where along each of your paths of personal growth and development, it was inevitable as you kept growing and evolving yourself that you ultimately would run into this person. In fact, I feel there's been many times in the past where there's almost been like these threads of energy, or I've been using the saying threads of fate recently, that have been kind of pulling or tugging the two of you together prior to the first time that you met physically. So whether you know it or not, maybe you have a sense of this, but there were many times where you and this person almost met or almost crossed paths, or I'm seeing like a campus, maybe a college campus or like a school. Maybe there's a connection point there for you, but I feel like there are so many times where the two of you almost met or almost connected, but didn't. And what I'm getting is the more each of you grew and evolved and started stepping into your purpose in life, because you both seem to be very on purpose souls. What I mean by that is you both have a very strong sense of your purpose here on earth. And I feel like you are both living out that purpose in different ways. And it's because you are both on that path of soul self-discovery that it was inevitable for you to run into each other. But the reason that you met from a spiritual perspective was to further inspire and catalyze each other, almost like to propel each other forward into some new phase that you were contemplating. Now, I'm getting that these phases were most likely different for both of you, but what I'm picking up very strongly is when you met, you both were like on the brink of some kind of new phase of your life, some new project, some new expression of yourself. Maybe you'd recently gone through some kind of big life change or transition, and you were both meant to propel each other forward into that next phase, but also to inspire each other. And I'm getting that this inspiration is actually coming through both of you reflecting a part of the other back that the other had forgotten through your own being, meaning it's almost like you both embodied a certain quality about the other that was dormant in the other, if that makes sense. And it's almost like you both admired certain qualities about each other that were actually dormant aspects within yourself that were meant to be awakened through seeing them in the other person, through that other connection. I am picking up right away that when you met, there was this elation and excitement and almost like a sudden adrenaline, a butterflies in your stomach feeling. And I'm picking up that this was very mutual. And I keep seeing smiling, almost like the two of you both just couldn't stop smiling when you met. Maybe when you looked over at this person after meeting them, if you met in person, you saw them just like smiling to themselves. There's so much smiling happening here on both sides, but it's like natural and just comfortable. That's the best way I can describe it. It's just this almost like a deep relief, like, okay, I finally found you. That's like what this smile says. And I feel like other people could even see this as well. Something about your bond seemed to draw prying eyes or seemed to draw attention. But the thing I will say is there seems to be a lot of differences between your worlds and your social circles, almost like you come from entirely different worlds. And I keep getting something about approval. So in both of your worlds, I almost feel like both of your worlds or your social circles didn't really approve of the other person or of the connection progressing. Now, that won't be for everyone. I feel like that's very specific, but I'm getting a very much like Romeo and Juliet kind of trope here where you both come from different worlds and you have this desire to connect and be together that doesn't even really fully make sense to either of you, but really doesn't make sense to the people around you. And the feeling that I'm getting here is, even in spite of that, you couldn't be kept apart. There was such a magnetism between the two of you that your meeting was inevitable. Like it had to happen here. There's also this pure quality about the way that the two of you seem to connect. something about being each other, being around each other. Interesting. I wanted to say being each other. Maybe you have a lot of similarities on a soul level. Like you and this person carry very similar soul qualities. I'm hearing you recognized the fire and the passion within each other. So it's almost like you would bring out this sense of passion in each other in a really beautiful way. And I'm also getting very much like a power couple energy, like us against the world kind of energy. Like when the two of you were together, yes, you may have had a lot of prying eyes. You may have had a lot of people who disapproved, but there's also this power couple energy and dynamic. It's almost like the two of you together exuded this like strength or confidence or like a rightness here that's really hard to put into words. I also feel that when this person was around you, they felt like a more confident, independent, grounded version of themselves. I'm hearing they felt truly themselves, like fully authentic. And that in itself was really rare for this person, because I get the sense that this is someone who is pretty performative with a lot of the people around them. And again, with that Three of Cups, I feel like meeting each other was just this very celebratory moment. It just brought in so much happiness. I'm hearing like, I don't even want to try to make sense of this or try to define this. I just feel happy connecting with this person or talking to this person or seeing them. And that's kind of the vibe that I feel around this connection. I'm also hearing blurred lines. So maybe there were a lot of blurred lines about like, is this a friendship? Is this a relationship? Is this like us collaborating in some way? Yeah, I feel like the lines really got blurry here. It was really difficult to like get a hold of or like a grasp on what this connection really was. But at the same time, it didn't really need to be defined because it was just felt in your souls mutually. Now, strangely, the card that keeps coming up here is the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position. And we also have the Two of Pentacles reversed and the Justice card reversed. Also the Nine of Swords reversed. So I feel something happened here. Now, for some of you, January, specifically the dates January 10th through 19th could be significant. I'm seeing a lion. This could be Leo energy for someone. I'm seeing something about the months of January or February. This could be someone's birth month. This also could be, I'm hearing when something changed. So maybe for some of you, there was a shift that took place in January or February in this connection. That won't be for everyone. But if that is the case, I'm seeing the dates June 1st through June 10th being the time frame where this person seems to be having some kind of breakthrough or having some kind of like light at the end of the tunnel moment here. I know we're getting very specific. I rarely give time frames, but maybe that connects with someone in a specific way. Only take that if it does resonate. But what I am getting is that this person coming up here, it's almost like what I'm getting from this connection is someone got very overwhelmed and ran away, but the overwhelm is multi-layered. And I'm hearing it only in part has to do with this connection. I feel like I'm hearing a good thing. Like this connection was something in their life that felt like such a good thing. But it's almost like that's exactly why it became overwhelming at this time, because due to certain circumstances of their life that we will get into, they felt like they weren't worthy of a good thing, of something as good as this connection. And so it's almost like someone here went cold or pushed this away very suddenly. And again, it was always something that kind of blurred the lines, that was undefined. But I get the sense of someone just kind of like dropping their end of this entirely. But what I'm feeling very strongly is that this is someone who felt very imbalanced within themselves. I'm also getting the feeling that they felt like they couldn't hold up their end of something here, like they couldn't meet you in a way that was equal to you or like in a partnership kind of way. Can I get any more information on why this person disconnected? We do have the Justice card reversed. Yeah, I keep getting something about inequality, someone feeling like it wasn't equal or couldn't be equal between the two of you. And maybe someone around them even pointed this out to them and said, you know, you can't give to this person equally to how they can give to you. I feel like this person perceived you as having more to offer them than they could offer you. And again, I'm feeling like someone around them may have even pointed this out to them in a stronger way. And the feeling I'm getting is that there wasn't really anyone else involved here, even though you may have wondered, like, was there a third party? Was there someone else? But what I'm getting is the Hermit. I feel like this person just isolated themselves, like pulled back their energy entirely, not just from you, but really from the idea of dating or connecting altogether. It's almost like they kind of just went into their own little like spiral here in a way and felt like they had to isolate themselves to work on themselves. But in doing so, they were really just like going cold or like closing off their heart, if that makes sense. When I feel if this person had been willing to open to you, you would have been very warm and very supportive through whatever they were going through. But they felt very self-conscious about not being able to give to you equally in the way that you could give to them. They felt like you were someone that had so much to offer, and they really just couldn't meet you in that. Yeah, what I'm feeling with the Three of Wands reversed is that now this person is feeling like they really have been directionless. And you may have even noticed that in the time that you were connected more with this person, you may have seen how things in their life began to progress, even visibly, whether it was with their career, with their passions. I feel like this person was very inspired and forward looking when they were connected with your energy. But ever since they've disconnected from you, it's like they thought they were doing that just to focus on themselves, to isolate themselves and get better. But in actuality, they were kind of like losing steam on all of those self-improvements. The reason being that the true part of us that moves us forward is our heart. And in closing off from you, this person was closing off from their own heart. And so now I see that this person is beginning to have regrets over isolating themselves from you in this way. So I'm really curious how this is going to move forward. And I am going to look into that. But I also want to let you know that if this is connecting, I really recommend my quantum connection subliminal meditation. This comes from my Subliminals app, Sound and Soulful. And this one will be so powerful for helping you to move forward this connection, to manifest growth and evolution here, and to manifest some form of communication or positive action forward by manifesting it first in the quantum realm, because everything that manifests physically happens first energetically in the quantum. So this will really put you in alignment with the highest possible outcomes in your love life when it comes to all forms of connection in your life, but especially having to do with this person specifically. And all of these subliminals I create work with the subconscious mind, so they contain affirmations that are embedded within other tones, sounds, and frequencies. And these affirmations deeply shift the subconscious, which research shows that the subconscious controls 95% of our thoughts, actions, and outcomes in life. So when we shift what's happening in the subconscious mind using subliminals, we can actually manifest so much more quickly. And I've seen the results of subliminals in my own life. I've been using them for years to manifest for myself. So I am now so passionate about sharing them with you through my app, Sound and Soulful. So in this app, I have over 130 subliminals for love, relationships, money, business, mindset, manifestation, and so many other things as well. And when you sign up for a free trial account in the app, you can access any subliminal I've created in 10 different background sound options. You can read the affirmations while you're listening, and you can create your own custom private playlists. So the link to download the app and get the Quantum Connection Subliminal is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Let's do a deep dive on how the situation may move forward. So what I'm getting first of all is the Wheel of Fortune, but also the sense of this person coming full circle mentally. I don't know if there's something about the timing, like the time of year or something, but I feel like something is coming up for this person right now that is making them think about the beginning with you, about the way that you met, about how fate pulled the two of you together. And I'm getting very strongly that this is making them sentimental and nostalgic, and it's causing them to start looking for an opening. And that's where I see this person being at now. In fact, if you've been feeling this person's energy more strongly recently, it's because they are looking for this opening. They're looking for the right moment to reach out to you, the right moment to contact you. That's what I'm getting with the Wheel of Fortune. And it's because they've somehow been brought back to the beginning, to however the two of you first met and connected. And I'm hearing they're realizing and noticing now, as they're remembering that meeting, all of the things that they missed at the time. Because I feel there were a lot of signs there that this person just almost like wasn't aware of or missed in some way. And what they're realizing, and I feel what they're having a lot of anxiety right now about, is this feeling with the Nine of Cups reversed that you were almost like this wish come true for them that they forfeited, that fate was pulling them together with you and they ruined their chance here. So what I see is this person being determined to, I'm hearing like to alter fate or to like alter their pathway here with the Chariot in the upright position. Can I get any more information? Yeah, and with the Seven of Swords reversed, I see that when they do find this opportunity to contact you or connect with you, there's going to be some kind of major confession or opening up. And I feel that for you, this is going to be a massive aha moment, like a moment where you really begin to realize, wait a second, that's why I couldn't stop feeling this person's energy. I wasn't going crazy. It's because they were actually thinking of me. They were feeling these regrets. They were feeling this connection too. Yeah, I feel with the Two of Swords right now, it's like this person is spiritually being put kind of at this crossroads. Like, are they going to regret this forever, or are they going to make some kind of a move here? And ultimately, I feel that they're going to step into making a move with the King of Swords coming forward in a very clear, direct way, which you may not be accustomed to this level of clarity and directness from this person. So it may actually be a bit surprising when this comes in. Can I get any other information about this? Okay, 2 cards came flying out here. The thing that keeps channeling through this reading is Spirit is not letting them forget you. Like, you are so strongly in their mind and in their energy. I just keep hearing that they're not being allowed to forget you or forget the way that you loved them or the way that it felt being around you. And it's pushing up this truth within them that wants to make itself known in the physical, which is ultimately going to culminate into this confession. So that's what I'm picking up right now in the energy. I hope this message reached you if it was for you. If so, I would love to hear from you in the comments. If you want to stay connected with this thread of energy and get notified when I post new readings, I do recommend subscribing to the channel so that you know whenever I post updates on this particular situation. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. You can listen to my music on all streaming platforms under Songs by 𝗫𝗫finity, and my Spotify is linked in the description box as well. And if you do want to use my quantum connection subliminal to manifest movement forward with this person and in this situation, then you can download my Subliminals app in the pinned comment underneath the video. Otherwise, I am sending you huge amounts of love, wishing you a beautiful remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.